Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another conversation about Miss Carlee Russell. Okay, we have a few things to get into. Of course, I do want to go over Nancy Grace's commentary, okay, her segment regarding this case regarding Miss Carlee Russell. We are going to get into that, similar to what we did with the Shanquella Robinson case, okay? We're going to get into that. We're also going to get into a statement that was made by Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend's sister. Okay, she has also come out and made a statement as well. But before we get into that, I do want to address a few things. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. First of all, make sure that you guys are liking up the video. I definitely appreciate it. All right, but I want to get into this comment that was left on my page really quickly. Um, this person says some topics you need to show your face on of discussion, this being one of them. Then they left another comment that said something like, another video behind a photo. What was it? Another video behind a photo, something, I'm over something, whatever it was like dot 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 dot. They didn't really finish the statement. It was real weird. So I wanted to be clear with this person and anybody else that may feel in the same way as this person. So I came back and I said, I will tomorrow when we go over Nancy Grace and her thoughts on Carlee. But please keep in mind, all right, this is my channel and I will manage it however I choose to in whatever manner benefits me. Okay. All right. You are the only person to complain. If it's unsatisfactory for you, please find someone else to keep you updated. Okay, so that's just that. There are plenty of channels where people do not show their face and they get way more views, 3 4 times 5 times amount of views than what I get. So I am going to manage my channel in whatever fashion I deem possible, and you're always welcome to check out somebody else's channel if it's not suitable for you. Okay, so there's that. I wanted to make sure that I come to the front and mention that. All right. But make no mistake, once I came across the Nancy Grace, I definitely planned on coming on camera, anyway, the same way that I did when we did the Shanquella Robinson case. Okay. But all in all, that's that. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about is my backup channel. I do have a backup channel called JamiThatsMe. And I started covering a lot of crime stories on that channel initially, and then I just pretty much repurposed a lot of my content from my main channel over to that backup channel, literally making it a backup channel with backing up, a lot of my videos that are over here on this main channel. And I'm debating because a lot of you guys have gotten in the comments and you've really liked how I've covered this case and you think that I should lean more into that. And that's not something that I'm opposed to, because that is something that I have wanted to do. That's something that I've already started over on that channel. But sometimes I'll just come over to this channel because this channel has more views, therefore may get a larger reach than the backup channel. But you guys are definitely welcome to follow the backup channel. And I'm trying to see how I want to finagle putting more like crime stories or just what's happening in the world type of stories over on that channel. We're slowly reaching 6,000 subscribers on the backup channel. So you definitely can help us out with reaching that 6,000 subscriber count goal. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking about that because I know I covered a few cases like the young man out in Mississippi whose different body parts were found throughout Mississippi, who people believed was unalived by likely his co-workers. Okay, it was a lot of stuff going on with that case, and I'm still getting some comments on that particular case. His name was I believe it was Rashid. Let me make sure I have his name right on there. Let me double check and see. I believe I believe his name's, I can't pull it up fast enough, but I do believe his name was Rashid. And so Rashim, I think it's Rashim. Let me make sure. I really want to make sure I have his name correctly. Rahim, Is it? No, yeah, I was right. Okay, it's Rasheem Carter. That's right. I wanted to make sure because I definitely covered his story about him. He went missing with his family. We talked about him being missing as well as his parents, or yeah, later on, primarily his mom finding his body at a later time. So definitely put eyes on that. And there's been some other stories that I've covered as well. So I've been thinking about, should I go ahead and just, fully make that backup channel just that? You guys let me know your thoughts. Hop down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. You feel what I'm saying? Um, yeah, because I'm doing things on so many different platforms. I have my Patreon, then I have my YouTube, and then the other thing is I don't want to put a whole lot. I don't want to put a lot of energy into the backup channel and not fully, you know what I'm saying, get the content out how I should, because this is my, my primary channel. But whatever it is, I'm sure I'm going to figure it out. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments about everything down below, please. Okay. I thank you guys so much. Definitely welcome to subscribe to this channel as well as the backup channel. We would greatly appreciate it. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's get into a few things that I wanted to talk about regarding Miss Carlee Russell. Now, as I told you guys, tomorrow, I'm not the ex-boyfriend, Mr. Tamar. Okay, I believe he go by the name of T. The ex-boyfriend of Carlee Russell. His sister came out, and she's had a lot to say. It seems like she's extremely disappointed in Carlee and how Carlee pretty much played their whole family. So let's go ahead and get her statement up here so we can see exactly what she had to say, girl, because she was not happy at all. At all. Miss Maya says, man, here y'all go. Since y'all literally waiting on me to speak on the situation and give my thoughts on it, I just can't believe she fabricated this whole story. Carlee had my family and I believe in her stage play. She had Tamar and I defended her to the utmost, having me cuss all these people out, which I don't regret. Y'all shouldn't speak on things you don't know about. 100. All right. She says, my emotions are high. I really could turn my emotions into actions. I mean, I could really headbutt her, lol. No, seriously, do everything under the sun for what she has done, especially my brother. I guess she meant to say, especially to my brother. She says, but I won't do that. I'm going to let God work. I don't know what he's going to do with her and her family, but I know he's turning it around in a positive light for mine. And that is only because we honor him daily. Okay. Now she says that this whole situation is stupid as hell. But at the end of the day, she's the one embarrassed. Everyone is literally on her neck for lying the way she did. They both righteous. They both righteous nationwide right now. Okay. She goes on to say, I just really pray for her and her family to just tell the truth about everything, and pray for Carlee's mind, because God gonna deal with them. Just like everyone that personally knows Carlee and everyone who genuinely cared about her well-being from the jump, we really thought she was missing like everyone else on my timeline. We clueless as well. But my heart goes out to my brother. I don't like to see my family go through anything they don't have to go through, but he gonna be good, and we good regardless. She goes on to say, I'm proud of him. He did his part being a real man and going out searching hard for his girlfriend like any concerned boyfriend would do. But like I said, God is turning this situation around for our good. He the only one allowed this to play out the way that it did. I just want to thank everyone who reached out to me / us concerned about how Tamar is feeling. He is going to be okay, way better than he was before. Okay, so there's that. This is what the sister had to say when it came down to this overall Carlee situation. And listen, although his following may be going up and everything, and he might be getting all these follows and all these girls probably hopping in his DMs or whatever the case is, he could be possibly going through a lot though, high key. He was out there, promoting, trying to find her, doing a lot of things for her to get her back home, even telling her story. She got this man out here looking a fool as he blatantly sits up there and he's like, she was indeed kidnapped, like just fully believing everything that she's saying. But I feel like he is really going through something, because this is where I'm getting it from. Earlier, I came to you guys with a video letting you know about Miss Carlee Russell being fired from her job. When we talked about that, we also learned that they were receiving a ton of negative comments. And I did see a lot of the negative comments that were there. And now I'm hearing that a lot of people are flooding them with positive comments. So, and I told you, I said, that makes no logical sense to me. Like, why would you be flooding her job with negativity because she worked at that job? Like, that makes no sense. So if you would do that to the job, then I'm sure you did that to the boyfriend, especially after he came out and said his girlfriend went through a lot. She was indeed kidnapped, and he stood 10 toes down with his story based on what it is that she told him. Right. So I can imagine what kind of death threats and whatever else he's getting in his comment section, or not. Well, see, he cut his comments off. So we know it had to start in the comments. He cut his comments off, but I can imagine what he has in his DMs, in his requested folder, his hidden, everything. So I could just imagine what he's probably going through mentally. And you pretty much done made this man a laughing stock right along with your ass over there in Birmingham. Yikes. Okay, girl, not him over there trying to protect his black one. And she done sat up there and made a fool out of it. It's like that. Listen, Tamar, don't let it stop you in the future, okay, from protecting another one, okay? All right. Now we don't know if the rumors are true either, because people are alleging that her ex-boyfriend messed around, cheated on her, or whatever the case is. I don't know what's true, child, because I'm also hearing that she cheated on him and she was trying to break up with him. It's just a lot of drama. Okay. And it's a lot of speculation and allegations. So we're not really sure what's what. I don't even know if the girl was really his girlfriend at the time that it happened. All right. Who knows? All I know is she's definitely made a fool out of herself and a lot of people that were supporting her and going to bat for her and believing her story, until shout out to the police coming out and confirming a lot of the things that we were hearing already, but did not want to accept or believe just yet until we got more details. Okay. So that's that, and that's what's been going on with that situation. I want you guys to hop down in the comments, let me know your thoughts about everything so far. Okay, so far we've talked about, of course, the comment that was left on my page. All right, we also talked about the backup channel, what I should do with that, and then also we talked about this situation where Carlee's ex-boyfriend's sister came to the front to share her thoughts about it. And I'm sure over time it's going to be more people that's familiar with Carlee that's gonna feel empowered to share their story too, girl. Not y'all over here talking about surviving Carlee. Okay, girl, what is really going on? But anyway, honey, next up, I want to talk about Anaya Blanchard's dad. Okay, y'all know Anaya Blanchard went missing, I believe it was back in 2019. And unfortunately, when her family conducted their search trying to find their daughter ended up being found in the woods, and she was unalived. And it's just such a sad story to this day. I came to you guys letting you know what her father had to say in a statement. He was really upset. Now, yesterday, I did watch her mom's statement. I got a chance to check out her mom's statement. She did two different ones. She did one on Anaya's Heart, which is her nonprofit for her daughter. They help go out and find a lot of missing people. Okay. Now, she did say that they weren't really asking for donations, but if people want to give, it really helps them to kind of go out in the communities and be able to support those families who have loved ones that are missing. Okay. So I'll be sure to get the link to like the Facebook page or whatnot and list that below for anybody that might want to, donate or anything to Anaya's Heart. All right. So she's been an extreme advocate ever since the passing, of her daughter. She has a non-profit in her name. And so they focus on those families that have missing loved ones, the same way she showed up for Carlee's family, only to find out so far in this case that some things are not adding up and she lied about significant things. So we don't even know if the whole kidnapping story is true or not. Okay. So she went on to give her two different statements. She did one on her personal page. She also did one on Anaya's Heart. And she kind of said the same thing, where she just kind of wanted to take the high road, the professional road. And it seems like she was holding back a lot of how she truly felt about this situation. In my personal opinion, I think that she feels exactly how her dad feels, Anaya's dad feels with this situation, taken advantage of. However, because it's hard to separate herself from the nonprofit, because she's still a representation of that nonprofit either way it goes. She just decided to be very professional. She said her goal was to go out there, help somebody find their missing, loved one, and that's pretty much what they did. So their mission was accomplished with going out there, assisting with the search and trying to find Carlee. Okay, so that's as far as she wanted to take it. But her friends have come out and they have pretty much went off. The husband, I'm sorry, not that he's not her husband at this time, but her ex-husband Anaya's dad came out and he gave his feelings, which was similar to the friends. So I believe that she feels likely how they feel. She just doesn't want to do a disservice to her daughter's brand and her brand and their nonprofit organization as well. Okay. And I can't blame her for that. She probably saying a lot with her personal friends, and do that, girl. Do your thing, vent, get it out how you need to. But on a professional front, I get it. Okay. And then I think also because she doesn't know for sure about the kidnapping and that it has yet to fully be investigated like they want, because Carlee is refusing for a second time to actually speak to investigators and detectives. She wants to wait to see if they can get more information. And once we find out for sure that it's a stated by Hoover Police that we have come to the final conclusion on this overall case that everything was a hoax, it was fake, then I think she might come out just a bit and give a little bit more in a tasteful way, her thoughts on the situation. Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And then as we speak on Anaya Blanchard and her parents, her father did do an interview that I want to go ahead and get into. I want us to check out and see exactly what he had to say regarding everything. All right. So y'all, let's check this out.
First, the latest revelations in the Carlee Russell case. They are upsetting to many of the people who donated money and their time with the search efforts.
It's especially troubling for those who have had missing children like Anaya Blanchard's family. Police say last Thursday, Carlee left for work, picked up dinner, bought snacks at Target, and then later called 911 reporting a toddler walking next to 459. Not heard from until she returned home late on Saturday night. Then on Wednesday, police updated their investigation, including the search history the Secret Service found on her phone, including questions about Amber Alerts and buses. WVTM 13's Lisa Crane spoke to Anaya's father today. She joins us live this evening in Hoover. Lisa, I can imagine this really brought up some difficult memories for him.
Yeah, absolutely, Brittany. Elijah Blanchard says when he first heard Carlee Russell was missing, his heart went out to the family because he says unless you've been there as he has, you have no idea just how frightening that is. But he says by the next day, he felt troubled with the situation because it just didn't feel right. Now, with everything that's come out, he says his feelings are best described as hurt.
It's been 4 years since Elijah Blanchard's daughter, Anaya, disappeared and was later found murdered. He says the wound is still fresh, and Carlee Russell's case has caused more pain.
It does open up wounds because our daughter was taken. And as a father, your daughter's your pride and joy. I mean, really, especially your baby girl. And it touched home a lot. And, to kind of find out later that, Carlee returns home with really no justification of what happened. And, it bothers me because it was a post that was made that said she fought for her life. And Anaya did fight for her life. And, for someone to use that phrase, it brings up terrifying and horrifying feelings within me.
In your mind, is there any possibility that she was abducted in your mind right now?
No.
Keep it real, Father. Keep it real, Father. Keep it real.
No.
Keep it real.
I'm just being honest.
You better keep it real.
I don't think so. I don't really. No, I don't. No, I don't think she was abducted. I think she was going through some personal stuff, and I think that she wanted some attention, and she got it.
Blanchard says he's hopeful Carlee will come forward with all the facts and apologize to the public.
It needs to be some type of reprimand behind her actions. And I'm speaking boldly about that because I've been through something. And like I said, what my family has gone through, it wasn't 3 days we didn't sleep. It was several weeks that we didn't sleep.
Absolutely.
Not knowing where our child was, didn't have a clue where she was. We found a car, but she was still missing. We found a suspect, but she was still missing.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden we find her remains
Exactly.
that had been laying in the woods, threw in the trash like she was throwing in the trash like garbage.
Mm-hmm. So sad. Such a sad story, y'all.
You can tell by that interview that's brought up a lot of hurtful memories for the Blanchard family. Coming up at 5, we're going to talk to Anaya Blanchard's mother about this case. She and volunteers from her nonprofit called Anaya's Heart, they put a lot of hours in searching on the ground immediately after Carlee was reported missing. And we'll hear from her a little bit more about that coming up.
All right, y'all. So y'all just heard what this dad had to say about this situation. And that's a key thing for me. Like, a lot of people feel as though shame on Black women, we shouldn't be calling for harsh punishment of this young woman. No, as this Black woman, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I am going to call for harsh punishment. Although I was standing on her side and didn't want to fully call her a liar, although things didn't make sense, I just didn't feel right. And I don't feel bad, for withholding that, but I didn't want to just come out there and call this girl a liar if I didn't have all of the details and the facts just yet. And I'm glad that I waited to get validated by Hoover Police versus validation by what social media was saying, and then just calling her a liar. You know what I'm saying? So I feel better with where I'm at now to know that everything that people had been saying was indeed confirmed by Hoover Police, and she was lying. And I can't get with that. Yeah, I am going to call for harsh punishment, because at the end of the day, y'all want us to have so much consideration for a Carlee Russell because she's a Black woman. Number one, that shit don't work with me. Y'all can do that group think somewhere else. Okay, that group think that don't work with me for real. Okay, it's not because a woman is a woman that I'm just gonna stand, and it's not because a woman is a Black one that I'm just going to stand. I'm just not gonna do that. I don't care nothing about what none of y'all talking about, in all honesty. But with this situation, this is why I really don't care. You want me to have sympathy for a young lady, a young Black woman, because she could have been going through some things and this, that, and other. Well, what about y'all? It's just not it don't add up for me that y'all want me to care about her, but she didn't care about the other Black women that have been actually missing, that have actually been kidnapped. This girl knows that these people were kidnapped. It's still missing to this day, and likely knows just how serious or non-serious the police takes these cases. And you think that I'm supposed to give up about this once she's been exposed, when she didn't give a fuck about those that came before her that were actually, kidnapped, missing, and a lot of them found unalive? Do you think I'm supposed to give up? I'm not at all. Lock her up. Yeah, she could get that. She can get locked up. She can also be fined, okay, a 6-figure fine or whatever the case is, because it's also her continuing to refuse to talk to police. If you believe in your story and you got people standing by your story, then tell your story, because y'all want us to care about this girl so much, but this girl still don't give a damn about other Black women in her own local community to tell the facts. Because if you were indeed harmed, you would want to protect those ladies, right? You will want them to be on alert and be on the lookout for this type of person or whatever the case is. Of course, keep your head on the swivel. But if you see this guy or this woman, get them. Like, girl, y'all sound stupid. For me, if you think that we should give her a pass because she could have had a mental thing, nah, it's not giving mental for me when she planned everything out. Okay, planned it all out. And then the gag for me is you have friends that grew up with her that allege this ain't nothing new for her. This was something that she's always wanted to do. Are you out your mind? Absolutely not. Miss me entirely with that conversation, because it's not gonna work over here, baby. No, ma'am. Lock her up, as I said what I said. I'm not into showing no grace or none of that at all. I'm just not, So it is what it is. That's just that on that. But anywho, you guys leave your thoughts and comments down below on Anaya Blanchard's dad. And I have to say, I appreciate him getting in that interview and keeping it a book. Because it's like her mom has that nonprofit. She might be in charge or whatever. And I'm sure he assists. But at the end of the day, I'm going to listen. This is how I'm feeling. I don't believe that she was kidnapped. Okay. Basically, he do feel like she was lying. And he does feel like she was over there wasting people's time, period. And I appreciate him being honest. That's not gonna make me look no worse at Anaya's heart or the nonprofit or anything when you just being honest about how you feel. You know, that might make people even want to support y'all even more. Okay, knowing that you've been through this and you're expressing exactly how you feel about the situation. So, you know, those are my thoughts on that. I want you guys to leave your thoughts about that. We are about to go ahead and get into Nancy Grace as well, just to hear her thoughts about, girl, all of this madness. Girl, I want to see, I got to see what Nancy finna say. I really like me some Nancy, y'all. I haven't been really watching her as much as I used to, like back in the day. But girl, I used to love when Nancy used to get the people together when it came to these criminal cases. She was not playing. So let's just see what she has to say about this Carlee Russell situation. All right. Oh, and let me also make a note. I'm likely going to be pausing through this. So if you do not like when I pause and I give commentary on such thing, then you might want to go and find the audio for yourself. Okay, or find the video for yourself. All right. And yeah, that's just what I do. Okay. Also to prevent YouTube from trying to flag the video or anything, sometimes I'll pause. But if it's something that she says that triggers me to say, give a comment, that's what I'm gonna do. So if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and hop off so that you can find like the audio for yourself so you can hear it all the way through. Okay. And let's see, let's get into it.
An orange-haired man with a bald spot, Cheez-Its, toilet paper, the Red Roof Inn. What happened in the case of Carlee Russell? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thanks for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. Let's start at the get-go with the 911 call. Take a listen, hour cut 7.
442 for 71. 42. 71. It's going to be 459 south, mile marker 10. It's going to be a child walking on the 3 or 4-year-old child walking on the side of the interstate next to her. RP's going to be close by on a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. Child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper.
42 copy from YMCA.
442. RP's advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
42 copy. For when you still got him on the phone.
Negative, but she's stated that she would stand by for police.
42, call the RP back. She's not at their vehicle.
If you're willing to take the time and the energy and you dissect 911 calls, you learn so much. Take a listen to the rest of that call.
10-4, CLA, red and color to Nicole Russell out of Birmingham, 10-11.
I'm around on 71 as well.
10-4, we're not getting the female to answer.
42, I copy.
10-4, that's the RP. We're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
Out to the interstate as well. Can you give me a description on the child? And were they southbound, walking southbound?
10-4, southbound walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4-year-old, wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. RP arrived in a red Mercedes, along with the RP's description was going to be.
Copy. Thank you. 42, just be advised her vehicle is unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
All personal belongings, except for the phone, in the car unlocked and still running. That is what police confronted when they go to answer a 911 call made by Carlee Russell, reporting a toddler walking unattended alone along the side of a freeway. Listen to our friends, ABC 3340.
Police need help finding a missing 25-year-old woman, Carlethia Russell, who goes by Carlee. Police say around 9:30 Thursday night, Russell called 911, stating she saw a toddler walking along I-459. Then after calling 911, Russell stopped to check on the child and called a family member to report the same details. The family member lost contact with her. Officers found Russell's vehicle and some of her belongings, but were unable to find her or a child.
Joining me in All-Star panel to make sense of what we know right now, but first to Savannah Sapp, multimedia journalist, reporter, WAFF 48, Alabama. Savannah, thank you for being with us. And not only did she make a 911 call, she also contacted her family, telling them she had seen this toddler walking along the side of a freeway. And then you hear a commotion, shuffling on the other end of the phone, and she screams And that's the end of the call. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's pretty much, what has been reported by her family and as well as the Hoover Police Department.
Now, explain to me, Hoover is a little bit outside of Birmingham. Is that correct?
Yes, it's very close to the Birmingham metropolitan area.
Very close to the Birmingham metropolitan area. And what can you tell me about this stretch of road where Carlee Russell says she sees a tot boy walking along in a T-shirt and a diaper?
Well, first thing I can tell you is that Birmingham, much like where I live in Huntsville, is mostly interstate roads, busy roads, thousands of cars on it every single day. So the idea of her pulling over on the shoulder of the interstate to check on a toddler is strange and wild to everyone. Because you think of interstate, you think of busy stretch of highway where most accidents tend to happen. So you think of a toddler on the side of the road, most people would be worried and concerned as well. I don't know if everyone would stop to check, especially at night like that, but
at least a
most
few
people would be concerned.
Joining me from Alabama is James Shelnut, high-profile lawyer, former SWAT officer, and with Metro Major Case. He's at shelnutlawfirm.com. James, this is your neck of the woods. I can't go anywhere without a camera watching me, and that's fine with me. Fine. Look, I'd be mad if you didn't. But wouldn't cameras have revealed a toddler walking along the side of the road?
Well, they would possibly have. These cameras only have a certain amount of resolution. This was at night. There was a lot of other things moving. So what they reveal more than anything is the actual roadway itself, which is what their intended purpose is. So there's not always the best of views off the roadway. But if that toddler was close to the roadway, then, yeah, you would think that toddler would be on the video.
You know what? We're so used to a murder occurring, the investigation occurring, and the jury verdict in 1 hour on TV. That's what people think really happens. It's not like that. Yeah, there may be video, but you may not be able to see a thing. If it's raining or it's bad weather, it's not like on TV and in the movies. Hey, guys, I want you to now hear, in her own words, Carlee Russell calling 911 in our cut 10.
911, where's your emergency?
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you?
I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Met, like to get off by the Hoover Met.
Okay, so you're before that exit?
Yes.
Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like toward Tuscaloosa or toward 280?
Towards Tuscaloosa.
Okay. And was the child on the left or right side?
On the right side.
Were they walking northbound or southbound?
They're walking towards Tuscaloosa.
Walking southbound.
Okay, Cheryl McCollum joining me, founder director of the Cold Case Research Institute, star of a hit series, Zone 7, and forensics expert. She's clearly in her right mind. She's giving very specific location information
Come on,
regarding
Nancy. Come on.
the 459. Very clear.
Nancy says she is clearly, in her right mind. She is very detailed on her location. Come on, Nancy. I'm so here for that.
She starts with a salutation. Hi. There's no fear. There's no urgency. There's no concern. She's not getting to the baby first. Most people, when there's a bad accident or a fire, something they're going to run to go help, they holler to somebody else to call 911. She's literally, supposedly, watching a baby walk down an expressway. At any minute, he could be hit by a car. He could fall off into a ravine. And she's just sitting in her car chilling, talking to 911, waiting for them to ask her the next question and not saying, y'all need to get out here. I've got to get out of the car and go get this child.
Take a listen to more of that 911 call.
Or how old do they look?
Like a toddler, maybe 3 or 4.
Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them?
Yes.
Okay, are you with the child right now?
No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I'm just, I can see them though.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
what kind of
sure.
car are you
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
I'm in a red Mercedes Benz
Is that a sedan or SUV?
SUV. I mean, it's a sedan, sorry.
Can you put your hazards on for me?
Yeah, they're on.
Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do they look like they're injured?
No, they don't.
Okay, she is clearly in her right mind and coherent and more. Listen to Carlee Russell in her own words.
Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
They're white.
Okay. Is it male or female?
I think it's a boy, a little boy.
White male? Okay. Is he wearing clothes?
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white T-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
And you don't see any cars anywhere?
No cars are anywhere.
Okay.
I can't take this 911 call. I just can't take it, bitch. I can't take it. I can't take it. I cannot take it. I can't take it. Girl, you do have people in the world that literally lie like this. Like, they just tell a fluent ass story and just be lying their ass off. Nobody really say they have mental issues, but people will label them as like a liar. But now because one of her lies done really caught up with her, it's because she done sat up there and called the police and stuff. Y'all want grace? No, bitch. You'll get Nancy grace, but you won't be getting the grace that you think that she's supposed to be getting. Absolutely not.
All right.
Just
What's
lying
your name?
fluently.
My name is Carlee Russell.
And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct?
No, but I can't really see them that good.
Okay. Try to keep an eye on them.
You can't see them that good, but you can see that they got on a white shirt with a diaper. It looks like a diaper. It's a little boy. How do you know what it is? I think it's a little boy. How can you tell? At 3 or 4, unless maybe they got all their hair cut off or something. But it's a little white boy. You can't really see them that well, but you can see. Girl, I'm so fucking confused. Like, girl, no, ma'am.
For the best they can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. And do they have shoes on?
No.
Shoes?
Not that I can see. I can't really see that well.
All right. I've got them on the way, okay? Just try
Can't
to
see
stay,
that
keep an eye.
well. Girl, don't put me on the jury. Girl, I wish I was in Alabama. Call me. Call me, girl. I know I ain't gonna get jury duty. I ain't done no more. But bitch, listen, okay? Girl, I'll be sitting over there breaking a 911 call. Like, girl, what? You can't really see them, but you saw that it was a boy. But you can't really see, but you saw they had on white. You can't really see, but it looked like they got on a diaper. Like, bitch, which one is it? What are we doing?
Eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Straight back out to Savannah Sapp joining us, WAFF 48 in Bama. Savannah, again, thank you for being with us. Police get there really quickly, but when they get there, they see Carlee's red Mercedes, but they don't. That's Carlee Russell. They don't see Carlee, and the vehicle is still running. No sign of the toddler. What do police find when they get there, Savannah?
Well, they find her purse. It had been left in the passenger seat along with the wig that she had either had on that day or just had with her. She planned to wear. Everything that, was expected to be on her person except for her phone was found in that red Mercedes on the side of the road.
Everything except the phone is found. Guys, we're talking about a woman who calls reporting a toddler on the side of the road, but when police get there, there's nothing there. Police immediately begin the search. Could you tell me, let me go to Mike Hatzel joining us, president and founder of Peace River Canine Search and Rescue. You can find him at psar.org. Mike, given that situation, what do police, or what should police do immediately to find not only this woman, Carlee Russell, but the baby?
Well, once they get there and they arrive, of course, they're going to get as many officers as they can. This is a high priority call when it comes in like this. We have children in danger. We have a woman that's calling. They're by the side of the road. Every law enforcement officer in that area is going to take that call and be there as quickly as they can. They're going to start from the off-ramp and work their way back up. They're going to try to find the kids, and they're going to try to find her. and then they're going to bring in all the resources they can at this point, because the phone is outside and she's not with the phone and there's no one to be found. Of course, the air assets will come in, the helicopters, and then the canine units will come in, and they'll start tracking to see if they can locate anything in that area.
Mike Hadsel joining us from Peace River Canine and Search and Rescue. Well, Mike, you're exactly correct. Take a listen to our cut 26. This is Chief Dervis with the Hoover PD.
Hoover Police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounded local and federal agencies assisted Hoover Police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty.
Also, we learn that the police immediately get in touch with T-Mobile to ping the phone in real time. Joining me, Lee Reber, mobile device forensic expert, CEO Oxygen Forensics Inc., author of Mobile Forensic Investigations, and host of, I love this name, Forensic Happy Hour. Lee, thanks for being with us. So we're hearing that LA law enforcement got an immediate ping on Carlee Russell's phone, or at least tried to. How does that work?
Yeah, sure. Generally, the telco company is going to send a signal to the device itself with a response. And so with the phones now, with either GPS enabled or just a standard cell signal, if it's just a cell signal, they can utilize it to triangulate. But with the GPS, nowadays, they can get within a meter with precise location for that device.
Guys, the Hoover PD and beyond pulling out all the stops, but then they do something that I do all the time. Take a listen to our cut 24.
Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards.
Okay. How many times during the day and the night is my family subjected to the ding, 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 where I'm looking for the iPad or the cell phone, anything I can find, any way I can find it. And that's what they did here, Cheryl McCollum. They do, it's kind of like it is Life 360. Life 360 can find you if you're in another country. They can find you, of course, if you're in another state. But they do it here, and they see that it goes 600 yards, 6 football fields straight. What does that tell you, Cheryl McCollum?
There was no way a 3 or 4 year old is walking 600 yards. They're not going to walk 600 football fields while you're just, again, following behind them in a car, not showing care and concern. The other thing that stuck out for law enforcement, because it did for me day one, she's the only person on this highway that saw this child. That's the only 911 call they got.
Yeah,
That's
Cheryl McCollum, I'm a frequent 911 caller. And very often the dispatcher will say, we've already got a car on the way.
Not you a frequent 911 caller. What you mean? You constantly calling 911, Nancy? Who you snitching on? Or is you saying that you constantly listening to the 911 calls? Which one is it? Huh?
We've gotten another call.
They're talking about 50 people had to pass that child during that 600-yard stroll. Nobody else called, especially. Now, here's the other thing. She stated she already had her hazard zone. There is no way in the dark going 70 miles an hour that you saw a baby up ahead with enough time to stop and pull over behind that
Yeah,
child.
I don't know about that, but everything else you said, I agree with. And the moment we heard that, everybody skidded to an abrupt halt. But I could rationalize and explain it, but here's one thing I can't explain away: the Cheez-Its. Take a listen to our cut 4, ABC 3340.
Hoover Police's new information is raising serious questions about the details of Carlee Russell's disappearance. Police now say that they have not found any evidence of a toddler walking down the interstate. As we are told, Carlee reported in her 911 call and subsequent call to a family member. Police also tell us that Carlee bought snacks at the Target on Highway 280 after leaving work. That food wasn't found in her car or with her cell phone and wig, which were discovered at the scene.
Okay, let's just get right down to it. Savannah Sapp, one question. What snacks? I want to know what snacks she got at Target that she took with her chasing this tot. What were the snacks?
According to police, she had bought granola bars and cheese crackers or Cheez-Its.
Okay, so what happened to them? Where are the snacks she just bought? Now, we also know that after her job, where does she work, Savannah Sapp?
Police reports are saying she worked at some spa at the Summit.
What is the Summit?
The Summit is kind of an upscale shopping center in that area, lots of different stores, high traffic area. But she had been working at a spa in that location.
I went to go take a look at the Summit. It's Woodhouse Day Spa. I went to go look at the Summit and walked around. There's every posh outlet. It's not outlet. There's stores that you can think of. Little artisan bakeries where like a cupcake will cost $7 or $8. That kind of place. That's what we're talking about. It's not like she is walking through a high crime area. She works there, leaving there, goes to a tzatziki restaurant, gets food, we think, to take home. That food is still in the vehicle, but the Target snacks are not. What else do we know about what she may have had with her? Take a listen to our cut 12.
On July 13th at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Tzatziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m.
Now, right there, you're hearing again the Hoover PD Chief Nick Dervis trying to make sense of what happened to some of the evidence. Curious. Dr. Sherry Schwartz joining us. Wait, is that Cheryl McCollum? Jump in. Toilet paper? I don't normally stash toilet paper in my bathrobe under my arm when I leave work. But hey, when you start adding up toilet paper, bathrobe, granola bars, Cheez-Its.
Hotel.
Okay. Dr. Sherry Schwartz joining us, forensic psychologist specializing in capital mitigation at panthermitigation.com. Literally wrote the book of criminal behavior and where law and psychology intersect. Dr. Sherry Schwartz, why hoard TP, toilet paper, right before you go missing?
Well, it sounds to me like you are planning to be away for a while and not near a bathroom that has toilet paper. That is a really strange thing to take with you unless you think you're going to need it because you're going somewhere where there may not be toilet paper.
Guys, I'm trying to figure out what other evidence we're going to uncover. I want to talk about clues left behind. Savannah Sapp, what can you tell me about computer searches we believe were made by Carlee Russell?
This is something that I believe shocked everyone around this case when we heard it from Hoover PD yesterday during this press conference. When they looked at Carlee's phone records, she had made some really questionable Google searches. She had looked up the movie Taken with Liam Neeson. She had searched, quote,
Girl, Liam Neeson somewhere sitting around like, now how the hell did I get into this? Okay, ask Carlee.
do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? She had also searched what the maximum age is for an Amber Alert. All of these searches raised eyebrows and a lot of suspicion for those who have covered the case and those who have, put a lot of effort into trying to find her.
Okay, take a listen to our cut 32, the Hoover PD chief.
Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "You have to pay for an Amber Alert," was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched.
And that's not all. Take a listen to more from Chief Dervis in cut 33.
On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert.
Okie dokie to Lee Reber and Mike Hadsell. First to Mike Hadsell, president, founder, Peace River Canine Search and Rescue. Really? Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?
Well, the
How much
taxpayers
money
pay for
do
the Amber
you?
Alert.
Yeah, taxpayers pay for that. That's me. That's us. How much did this search? Do you believe? Just give me a rough estimate.
Please.
You got drones. You got
FBI
well,
helicopters.
of course, there's volunteers out there. The family adamant, screaming at the top of their lungs that the media is not covering her disappearance as much as other disappearances. It goes on and on. The police are being pilloried. How much money? Just give me a ballpark with the drones, the searches, the additional man hours, the investigation. What are we talking about here?
Somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000 is my rough guess.
Okay.
Now, see, I'm gonna have to dispute just a little bit here. As much as I love that number, so I'm wondering if it truly costs that much. Granted, inflation is much different than the time that Sherry Papini went missing. And I'm not sure how it was with Tawana Brawley. I haven't really looked at her case. I believe it happened like decades ago. Don't quote me, but I'm not familiar with her case. But I did look at the Sherry Papini case, and she had to pay $310,000 back. But I feel like they were trying to research her case for a long amount of time, which kind of like added up, right, in price and stuff like that. So I am just wondering if it's really 200 and some thousand. I see it being more than 50,000, but I'm wondering if it's 200 to 500,000 for real. Because with her case, they only were out there from Friday and Saturday. And then she came back on Sunday. The only thing that I can think of though, girl, okay, okay. Now y'all know the little white girl, Chloe Stein or whatever she got. She likely gonna have to pay $11,500. That's not confirmed. The judge gonna let her know in a future hearing. So it could be $11,500 or it could be way more than that. We don't know yet, right? Because she was only missing really for like 24 hours. This young lady here was missing for about 48, 49 hours. This is my thing. With Carlee continuing to refuse to interview with the police and they have to continue to do their own investigation on the small details that she has, the longer this case is open, it makes me question whether the price will continue to add up. Does that make sense? Because they have to constantly go back and investigate or go back and check this and make sure they got that right. And if she's saying it's an orange man and da. Like, as long as the case is open, that's supposed to mean that it's still an active investigation. So the longer that it's open, the more you're racking up that price for you to have to pay. Probably that 500,000 or 200, 300 or some $1,000 is what I'm thinking. So if you want to go ahead and kind of minimize some of this, you might want to go ahead and talk to them people, in my personal. But I don't know, you probably pissed them people and frustrated them so much that they over there trying to figure out what all possible charges they could really charge you with by the time you do come around and have the conversation. So we shall see. Like, I don't know, girl.
I'm
Between
sorry.
air
Could you
assets and everything.
just slow down and say that? I need to let that just sink in.
$250,000 probably minimum to somewhere around $500,000.
Why?
Yeah, why?
What
Well, you got-
possibly could cost $250,000?
Thanks.
Well, you got air assets are running anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 an hour to operate. That's their burden rate and what their fixed costs are. And then on top of that, you've got the officers are there. You've got overtime. You've got hazard pay. So they're not only just making their normal salary, but they're getting extra money as well for the hard work that they're putting in. And then, of course, you've got all the other detectives. You've got the state police involved. You've got the FBI involved. There's a lot going on here on this case because according to the situation that we have now, we have 2 missing kids and a missing girl. So you have 3 people missing at this point.
2 missing kids. Where the fuck the 2 missing kids come from? 2 missing kids and a girl? I don't think he's familiar with the case. Anybody familiar with 2 missing damn kids? 2 missing kids and a girl. It was 1 kid and her. Unless, hear me, they're saying the 1 missing kid that she saw allegedly on the highway and the 1 kid allegedly that she heard when she was in that damn supposed 18-wheeler. So is that what he's referring to with the 2 kids? I don't know.
Believes something's happened. And so you've got everybody possible out there.
Okay.
Hey, Nancy, this is James. It's
Jump
not
in,
just the
Shellnut.
monetary. Yeah, it's not just the monetary cost. I agree with everything he just said, and that's probably a realistic estimate, if not conservative. But there's also other costs. The other costs are collateral damages that are hard to quantify from a money standpoint, which is there are other people out there who have been victims of crime, that these resources have been diverted off of their cases. There's the cost to a community, placing this community in fear. And those are costs that can't be quantified, but they sure do exist.
Listen, I kind of agree a bit with what he's saying. If they do have active missing people cases that they're working on, they literally, it seemed like about put that to a halt for like a day or two to try to find where this girl was at. Because this one might deem like, I don't know, to them maybe more urgent because she could possibly still be in the area. Like, I don't know, but it could have likely put a halt to somebody that could have put in a missing persons thing on a Wednesday or something, or on a Tuesday, or whatever, based on whatever those details were. They jumped to this one. And possibly because since those people didn't have all eyes, this is just a hypothetical. If the people who put in their missing report on a Tuesday or Wednesday didn't have people bombarding the police, like they got the pressure for Carlee, after we start, people start talking to me and like, oh, this ain't real, whatever the case is, and applying pressure or whatever, or either just the people like, where is she, applying pressure, that's going to make them hop off that even more, because now they're getting pressure. Family is, getting out here doing press conferences with different news stations and whatever else. So, I mean, it could have put a little halt to some things, girl. I don't know, but let's keep going.
Well, not only that, whenever a jury hears a true scenario, a true crime where someone has been kidnapped, can't you just see some, let me just put it out there, a-hole defense attorney, technical legal term, arguing, oh, this is just another Gone Girl. This is just another take, and it's all BS. Don't convict my client. I can see it happening right now. Cheryl McCollum, are you sitting down?
Yeah.
You may need to lay down. The plot of Taken. Liam Neeson,
Yeah,
a
get a
former
flight.
government operative, of course, is trying to reconnect with his daughter. His worst fears come true when sex slavers abduct the daughter and her friend after they arrive in Paris for a vacation. With just 4 days until his daughter will be auctioned off into sex slavery, Liam Neeson must call on every skill he has ever learned in black ops to rescue her. What's going to come next? Did she watch Gone Girl on Netflix before she disappeared? Did she potentially look at the case of Chloe Stein?
That's what I think.
Ringing a bell?
That's what I think
Take a
she
listen to
did.
our Cut 35
Absolutely.
KDKA.
State police are investigating this young woman, Chloe Stein, who has been missing since last night, 11 p.m. And I just talked to her mother. As you can imagine, she is just distraught, breaking down, just telling me she just wants answers. And right now, state police are trying to do that. They say they got a call this morning from Chloe's boyfriend, who said that he had communicated with her around 11 p.m. last night, saying that she was being pulled over. Her mom said something was wrong with her headlight. And at that point, the family never heard from her again.
Okay, I'm literally jumping out of my skin right there. Couldn't you fast forward that just a tiny bit, Jackie, for Pete's sake? The woman pretended she was kidnapped so she wouldn't have to admit she wasn't going to graduate. She
ain't been in school either.
Played around, didn't get her hours. Isn't that Chloe? She didn't want her family to know she wasn't going to graduate. It's graduation day, Saturday. And so she goes missing. Okay. And of course, here's the poster child for fake kidnappings, Sherry Papini. Cut 38, our friend Matt Gutman, GMA.
In November of 2016, Sherry Papini vanished for 22 days. Then, on Thanksgiving morning, she materialized on a highway nearly 150 miles from home. A trucker stopping and calling 911 for her.
These stories
That
ain't
call
sped
heard for
up.
the first time this morning.
Hey, what's hurting? You're chained up.
She's chained up.
Let me tell y'all something. Sherry Papini did a better job than motherfucking Carlee. I'll tell you that. And I think Chloe Stein did a better job because Chloe didn't call the police. Chloe called a friend and let them do the rest of the work. Hello? Chloe just abandoned her damn car and got the hell on and went behind her house and stayed with a damn neighbor. But Miss Sherry, we appreciate the piece of acting, okay, that you put in for it. Unfortunately, you did not get paid the 300 and some thousand to act. Now, because you acted, you're going to have to sit up there and pay the 300 and some thousand. Okay, I wonder how you acting behind them bars. Girl, I can't.
The woman just goes AWOL, leaving her husband and children behind to try to figure out where's mommy, and shacks up with her old boyfriend, and then actually brands herself, like a cattle, to claim 2 Hispanic females, her words, not mine, abducted her, I guess, to ultimately sell her into sex slavery. Well, that didn't happen. She turned up for turkey lunch on Thanksgiving. Okay, let's go back to our case in chief. I want you to take a listen to what Carlee Russell has to say in our Cut 28. That poor Chief Nick Dervis, man, he gave it all, spent so much money, and this is what happens. Listen.
Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler.
Okay, I've got to play some more. You have to hear this. Aren't you a little bit curious about a guy with orange hair and a big bald spot? Take a listen to our Cut 29.
Wow.
She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. Detectives, the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot only to be captured again and was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact.
And more from Chief Jervis.
She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock.
Again, echoes of Sherry Papini, who never saw her two female Hispanic abductors, but only heard their voices. That's convenient when it's time for police to draw a composite picture. Cheryl McCollum, Cold Case Research Institute director and founder. There are so many holes in that story. I could drive a Mack truck through them.
Oh, my Lord. First of all, she never mentions a weapon. She's able to escape multiple times. She says the assailant grabbed her, but she never says he also grabbed the baby. If he's grabbing her with one arm and the baby with the other to get somebody over the fence, how in the world could she not escape then? How in the world does nobody on this highway see any of this happening?
Come on, eat this story
no
up.
fight, no nothing. She, again, can remember being fed cheese crackers, but not whether or not she was sexually assaulted.
Come on.
She's able to escape multiple times, only to be captured again somehow. And she goes from a vehicle to a tractor trailer to some house to when they finally, don't capture her again for the fourth time. Lo and behold, she's in her own freaking neighborhood.
It is amazing that she remembers the cheese crackers, but not her sex attack. But now the family is angry, claiming that Carlee Russell is having to deal with, quote, trauma of people, quote, just making completely false allegations about her. They're angry. They're angry. I wonder how the Hoover PD feels. Straight to Dr. Sherry Schwartz, forensic psychologist. What is happening, Dr. Sherry?
Well, I think for the family, they need to believe that this happens, because the alternative is they have to believe that Carlee just basically had a complete lack of concern or any regret or remorse about their distress, how this would create distress for them. So I think for them, they're invested in, they want to be supportive. They are needing to believe this story. And so it does feel like a personal attack that their daughter, their loved one, is being attacked.
Savannah Sapp, in the midst of all their pain, this woman is safe and sound at home with her family. Go ahead, dear.
Since Carlee's return, they have been eerily quiet and not allowing investigators to talk further with Carlee.
Well, apparently right now there's a lot of confusion with Crime Stoppers. Claims that they're not refunding the $63,000 worth of well-wishers and donations. Some claims they are. I want that money refunded. Money back and pronto. Guys, take a listen. Now we're cut 19. This is from NBC.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, you got to hand it to the mother. There's no love like a mother's love. If you have information, dial 205-822-5300. Goodbye, friend.
Whew. All right, y'all. So y'all just heard everything that Miss Nancy had to say, honey. And I'm glad I listened to that, because I like when she brings on a lot of experts and we get their, opinions from it and hearing, how this process goes and stuff. And I love the fact that the last lady, I don't know if that was like an investigator or somebody out in Huntsville, but that lady called into question a lot of things that I feel like a lot of us didn't even think about. How is he grabbing you and he grabbing a toddler at the same time? So you don't remember somebody violating you, but you can remember being fed cheeses, like just different things that lets you know her kidnapping story is not real. And the family needs to believe this. They need to believe this story for whatever sake they got going on. But I honestly feel like the family is needing to believe this story because they need to continue to paint Carlee out to be a victim. All right. And shift the focus from what it is that she did and the focus on a lot of things that the people are saying. And it's so funny and so ironic. And I was so glad that Hoover Police came to the front, because you sat up there and you tried to make it seem like people are putting these horrible rumors out there about your daughter and this and that. And you really played it up with the crying face with no tears, only for Hoover Police to come in and solidify and confirm majority of the rumors that had already been out there. Girl, a mess. And the fact that the man said that they talk to you dang near every day or whatever the case is, I feel like you were aware of a lot of things that they had to say. A lot of the evidence they had, I feel like you were aware of that. And with you being aware of that, you still would not allow your daughter to have a conversation with these people and continuing to move in that space. Girl, y'all gonna have to come to the front at some point, because I feel like if y'all keep playing this, they gonna probably try and charge this girl just even the misdemeanor charges, from what they know from the front half of her story and how it's not true, just to pull her into the jail just so they can have an interview with her, a forced interview. But you can keep running from this all you want. You're gonna have to show up and you're gonna have to answer to what it is that you did. And it's just what it is, and we'll find out about it one way or another. It may not be now, it may not be this month, next month, it may be in December, but I will find out what's going on with the situation at the end of the day. But I just wanted to come to you guys and let you guys hear what Miss Nancy Grace had to say. We talked about quite a few things, as well as what Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend's sister had to say, Anaya Blanchard's father, and other things. Okay, so definitely let me know your thoughts and comments about everything that we have already talked about down below in the comment section. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.